Game sense is, without a doubt, one of the most important things when it comes to being a well-rounded Rocket League player. You can have all of the mechanics that you want, but if you're unable to read what's going on the field, they don't really do you much good. Today we break down the 5 things you need to fix to master game sense in Rocket League. Alright, we are going to kick things off here with example number 1, pausing it right here for us. So now we're going to go ahead and start to check off our list. So the first thing we want to consider is speed. So as we can see, as this play developed, this ball was moving fairly slowly into our own corner. So based on that information, we're not expecting this ball to go flying anywhere dangerous overly quickly. Next thing we want to notice is we want to look at the positioning of the players. So first off, we have our teammate here, who's going to be possibly able to get control of this ball, although with the awkward angle of this, he might not be able to. We have one of their players prepared to immediately challenge this, depending on how this clear goes. We have a second player from their team waiting in the midfield. If this challenge goes favorably, he's there to pounce on it. And then for us, we have a second teammate here who's already covering the net, but can cover into the midfield should the challenge go that way. With this information, it means there is no reason for us to be sprinting back into net. We have basically full boost, so we can go ahead and just kind of chill it out and just coast our way back in. Digital can go ahead and move out, and we can go ahead and replace him when we need to. Now, of course, in terms of the other 3 things on our list, the direction of the play is currently moving this way, but in a few moments, we can assume that it will be heading in this direction in one way or another. In terms of boost, we know the orange team is currently pushing into the offensive half, so we can assume that they are A-okay on the boost front, and we should be A-okay as well, because as we were rotating back, collecting boost should have been one of our priorities, especially without any immediate threat on the ball. So now let's go ahead and play this forward just a hair, and we will recheck our situation. So, Tide unfortunately did not get the greatest touch and kind of just left it up in the air for the orange team to pounce on. So now we're in a situation here. Tide is basically out of the play. He's not really going to be able to do much of anything. We have Digital 8 here covering the near post, so any ball that goes around the wall, or perhaps anything that is in this area of the net, he should be able to take care of. Then we have to be concerned about the passing options. Doesn't look like Jar Jar's in a passing position because he is behind the play. So we look at Dushy here, who will be creeping up into the midfield. Might want to be aware of this pass across that could occur. When checking speed, we can see that OK Tiny is not moving overly quickly, and we know this ball is just kind of floating. So any shot on net should be able to be saved relatively easily. Now in terms of threat, there's pretty much 2 right here. We have the threat of Tiny shooting this ball directly on net, which honestly isn't much of a threat at all. And we have the threat of the pass. So what we're going to try to do here is utilize that information to position ourselves in such a way that we can cut off both of those options. So as we'll see here, we can see Tiny jumps off the wall. Now he does look like he still could be shooting this. With this position, we've kind of ruled out any possibility of this ball going back into the corner. That just doesn't seem feasible with the angle he is coming at. You'll notice that we're still maintaining our slow speed so as to maintain this back post position where we can cover the entire net if need be, but can also cut this midfield pass if it comes across. As we can see, based on how this ball is positioned now, it becomes even more obvious that this is more than likely a pass. And we can see from the touch, yes, there comes the pass. So in this moment, we need to assess where is the threat. Threat is right here. If this ball gets across without any interference, this is more than likely in the net. Now in terms of speed, this ball is not coming across incredibly quickly, so we do have time to adjust course and get out to cut down the angle on the shot. And based on the positioning that we see, we are the only player that can effectively put a stop to this, as like we said, Tide is out of the play, and Digital should be responsible for covering any shot, possibly by jumping across the net should it come across. So let's go ahead and see how we manage this. Threat is in the midfield. How do we cut this down? Go ahead and turn out and jump out. We actually angle our car sideways to give ourselves as much horizontal coverage as possible, meaning that we cut down the angle as much as humanly possible. We can see Digital 8 also making the smart play here, jumping across the net, trying to cut off any angles as well. And as you can see here, we are able to go ahead and get the save and pop it out to the safety of the corner. So that is an example there of solid game sense, utilizing the information we have on the field to make our decisions and cut down the offensive threat as we see it develop. It's utilizing your understanding of speed, positioning, direction of the play, boost that everybody has, and where the viable threat is that will allow you to put a stop to scary offensive situations. So now we're going to go ahead and get into some game sense moments where things might not go quite as we might have planned. So we're sitting here on the defensive half. We got some low boost here, so that is a little bit of a concern. But we're going to go ahead and run through our checks and see what we can kind of figure out. So number one, we want speed on this ball. Speed going pretty quick. We can tell by the trail coming off of it that it's got some pace moving in this direction. Now, if we look at the positioning of the players, we can see our one teammate here just kind of chilling front post, so that's fine. Our second teammate has just made this save and is currently floating in the air. What this means is that no one from our team is going to be able to get to this ball quickly. The player who can get to this ball quickly, however, is right here from the orange team. So what we're seeing here is that this orange player is 100% driving up this wall and is either going to attempt to take control of this ball, get a touchback mid. They are going to be the next ones to impact the play. What we can't see is any other players from the orange team. What this means is they could be anywhere. They could be right behind us, off screen this way, off screen this way, off screen this way. Let's see though if before we reach this moment we could see where they might have been. So we see right here, we can see all three of them in this moment. Okay, Tiny going behind us. And now this is the moment right where we get the save. So right here, we see Jar Jar going this way. If that big boost is there, he's taking it. And we know the third player was behind us over here. So now as we roll this forward, we know the third player is going to be out over here. And their second man is behind us this way. So they have a very good spread of the field where they can be very dangerous. So now let's see what Tiny does. So Tiny's going to get a light touch. Now we've put ourselves in a bit of an awkward position. Unfortunately, we're still on 12 boost. Ideally, we would have gotten maybe one or two of the small pads. I think we picked up one in this situation. It's alright, we're still in a decent position to be able to defend this, even with low boost. It's not the end of the world. So as we said, OK Tiny is going to have this play. Now if we look at the spread of our defense, we're all kind of facing the same direction right now. Like, everyone's kind of all eyes on this. And in our current situation, there's really only one player that can actively defend anything high and like to the backboard or to the top of the net. Again, this play is moving fairly slowly, so we're not expecting any kind of absolute banger into the top of the net that we're not going to be able to react to. What we are scared of is the ball possibly going to the backboard or some kind of infield pass once again. And knowing that the rest of the orange team is off this way, the infield pass becomes even more likely, especially when you consider that we have backboard coverage from our teammate on the wall here. So what we and our teammate here should be expecting as he comes back across is watching this midfield to make sure no pass is allowed to come through. So let's go ahead and roll this forward and see what happens. So it's actually around the corner, and it looks like from this exact position that OK Tiny has recognized, okay, player on backboard, we're not going this way. You can see that he's kind of positioning himself behind the ball, which is going to allow him to contact the ball around here and push the ball out into the midfield. We can also see currently that our teammate is on his way back, which means we need someone currently available to cover this midfield to make sure this pass can't get across. The problem is that instead of maybe focusing on this, we're focusing on this. The temptation of the big boost is very big in this circumstance. I can understand that. We see the big boost, we're only on 5, we feel like we're under pressure. We want to go get the big boost. The problem is that if this pass comes across, this player can't defend the midfield, this player's slow back and probably won't be able to beat the ball back. So we're just kind of giving up a free passing lane to the midfield. Even with only 12 boost, if you're sitting back post, you can still at least try to get out and cover the shot. If you take yourself out of the play to go get a corner boost, it means that you now give your defense no chance to make a stop in this situation. And as we'll see here, this ball is, oh looky there, there's the pass coming across. Digital 8 has already driven past it. and now there's the shot into the net. I will say, if we're going to flip over to this from Digital 8's perspective, he's got full boost. He takes ball cam off here, and this is what's going to get him in a little bit of trouble. He should now be able to identify, oh boy, here's the threat. Any ball that comes across here is incredibly scary for offensive pressure coming this way. And as soon as he sees this, he should flick ball cam back on and track where this ball is going. Because if it pops out, he has the boost to jump up for it. But unfortunately, he flips forward as this touch is coming out. And now all of a sudden, oh gosh, the ball is dropping behind me. Oh gosh, there's a shot coming. Oh gosh, I can't get to it, and it's in our net. So it's that situational awareness of, hey, I've taken ball cam off. Hey, look, there's a threat here in the midfield. Maybe I should see where that ball is going. If we do look at our third player's positioning on the wall, we don't make the best decision here because we see the pass coming across and we kind of just jump down instead of jumping out. Maybe if we wheel around on the backboard, we could have a better chance. But this is just an entire breakdown of rotation where we kind of just give up the midfield and allow the team to walk through. If we had been more aware of the positioning of the opponents, the direction the play was going, and where the threat was, this would not have been an issue at all, and we would have been able to cut it out. Unfortunately, we weren't really thinking, and we let the ball go right past us into a dangerous place where the opposing team was able to slot it home. So to summarize, the things you always need to be considering as you're moving around the field is the speed that the play is moving at. Is the ball moving quickly? Are the cars that can impact the ball moving quickly? Then you want to consider the positioning of the players on the field. Who is the next person to impact the ball? Where is that ball most likely to go? Utilizing the positioning of the other players on the field, you can kind of start to predict the direction this play is going to move. It also helps to know how much boost your team has and how much boost the other team has, because that impacts what plays they're able to go for. Obviously, if someone has basically no boost, they can't really take the ball up into the air and go for an air dribble. So try to keep an eye on when players are picking up boost and when they're utilizing it to make certain plays. And the last and most important area of game sense is being able to identify threats based on who's playing the ball, the direction that ball is going, the positioning of all the cars. What is the threat on the field? Is there no threat? Do we not have to worry about it? Is the threat somewhere in the midfield and there might be a pass coming across? Is the threat a single player going for a solo play? Then by assessing that threat, you can make your decision on what you need to do to prevent that offensive attack. If you can master the understanding of these 5 things, you will be well equipped to handle almost any offensive attack that a team will throw at you. So that'll just about do it for today's video. Of course, if you guys do enjoy videos like this and other videos that I have produced, please consider clicking that subscribe button right down below this video. It really does help me out a lot more than you guys realize, and I really do appreciate it. If you're also interested in being in any of my videos in the future, make sure you go ahead and join my Discord that is linked down in the description below, so you know when I am looking for video participants. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys. And if you're looking for some more Rocket League entertainment, might I recommend checking out this playlist right here for some more Rocket League tips. Or check out this video over here to see if you can guess what every rank is going to do next in Rocket League.